And now they don't know what to do. They're wandering around everywhere. It's kind of like when you see a trail of ants outside, and you grab your you take your finger and you just go like this, and you just run your finger perpendicular to that trail of ants, because see, ants go in a straight line because of scent. Well, when you wipe out that scent, you see them, they're just wandering around there. They're all over the place, and they're no longer in a straight line. They're going all over the goddamn place. That's the Illuminati. That's their system. When you come and throw chaos that they did not author into their system, you fuck up everything. The number one weakness is everything has to go exactly the way they want it to go, or else they're just going to be chasing their tail like idiots. This is words of wisdom, man. I'm giving you the keys of David, man. The key of David. I'm telling you, this is how you beat their system. And I know because I've lived it and I've been doing it. And I will continue to do it. You be predictable enough until you're ready to start setting your traps. Then you start setting your traps, and you're still predictable, and they fall right into those traps. Then you become unpredictable. And when you were supposed to go someplace today, you didn't go. And you organize with other people, and they're at the location where you were supposed to have been, but you never showed up. And they see those people there, and they stick out like a sore thumb. And now you have identified them. Follow them home. See where they live. Do research on that address. Do research on that name. Find out who it is. That family. What are their affiliations with the lodge? What are their affiliations with the city or city council, the law enforcement? Find out who they are, what they're about. Sons, daughters, brothers, sisters, mother, father. All of them. All of them. All the dozens of people. Were they ever incarcerated? Were they ever in the military? And you just keep digging and digging and digging and digging, doing the exact same thing that the Illuminati does. And now you got a large amount of intel at your disposal now. And then you'll be able to connect the dots like I have been doing over the past 13 years. I used to come out with videos where I would have these rants and I would be angry and all of that. I don't do that anymore because I won. I kicked their butts. I was able to outthink them. And that turned it into a war of attrition. You see, they want to make you react to them. They expect a reaction. They want to initiate a reaction. So for Nappy Head Roots or the rest of you guys out there, that you believe that there's someone trolling you or griefing you, or maybe someone trying to burglarize or vandalize your home or things. The criminals, basically. This is sociopathic activity. If you believe that someone's trying to bully you or that someone's just for whatever reason just doesn't like you and is trying to cause pain in your life, and they brought friends. A bully always wants a reaction. I looked up on the internet, and there was scientific studies that show that internet trolls display the same traits as psychopaths. So when you see these internet trolls on the internet trolling people, not just conspiracy theory videos, but anything, those are psychopaths. Those are people that should not be free, or they should be on meds, Thorazine or something. They're psychopaths, because those are the traits of a psychopath. To go and cause discord for no other reason than because it gives them delight. That's a psychopath. So they want to initiate a response. And fear and intimidation is one of the responses they love. They also love anger. They love to make you angry. Anything that will give them attention. And they won. They won that little encounter because it got your attention. Which is why I say wear sunglasses, headphones, walk around with little earbuds on, maybe listen to some music or whatever. Maybe not listen to anything. But they don't know. They don't know if you listen to something or not. And wear sunglasses where they can't see your eyes like the Secret Service does. Why do you think Secret Service does that? So they can look at things and at people and no one can tell what the fuck they're looking at. You have to use the same tactics they use. You have to understand their mind. So you do that too. So they can't see your eyes. They can't tell what you're looking at. Are you looking straight ahead? Or are you really having your eyes towards the right and you're really looking at your peripherals? And you're looking to your side. But your face is to the left. You're looking to the left, but you're really not. You just have your face pointed in that direction, but you're actually looking to your right. They don't know what you're looking at because they're trying to look at your eyes, but they can't see your eyes because sunglasses won't allow them to see your eyes. This is gold, helpful tips here. And with the earbuds on, they can't engage in street theater because you can't hear them anyway because you're listening to something with your earbuds on. So what's the point of street theater? What's the point of them saying something ridiculous? What's the point of them trying to harass you when you can't hear them anyway? And that frustrates them. These are sociopaths. These are psychopaths, people that do things like this. Some of them may be saying things under their breath, murmuring and stuff like that because they're trying to cause harm to you or someone else verbal abusive people. That's what trolls are. Or they themselves are really talking to themselves because they're insane. Either way, it's not a sane behavior, whatever their goal is. If it's to mess with your mind or someone else's mind, that's psychopathic behavior. But if they're harmless and they're not even paying attention to you, but they're murmuring and speaking things, then they're kind of crazy. Either way, you don't need to be listening to that stuff. Put on some earbuds. When you're dealing with people like the Illuminati, they want a response. Why do you think that America goes into the South China Seas? They want China to respond. Why do you think the United States of America sends their military over there to the Ukraine? They want Russia to respond. Why do you think America goes and says Syria gassed their people when we all know that didn't happen? They want Syria to respond so that they can be able to put in their newspapers and in their television shows and in the news. See, look what they did. We told you they're evil. We told you they're evil. In the Bible it says, aha, our eye has seen it. See, this is their tactic. This is what evil do. This is what evil psychopathic people do. They want to mess with you over and over and over and over and over again until finally you do something to get them to quit messing with you, and then they call everybody out and say, help, look what he's doing to me. And then it makes you look bad when all you were trying to do is just defend yourself from that bully. There's a phrase, this is a phrase is over 200 years old. They say that they cry out in pain while they beat you. You know what I mean when I say that? It means while they're hitting you over the head with a bat, they're saying, help, I'm being beaten, help, someone call the cops, even though they're the ones holding the bat and they're the ones beating you with it. That's the kind of people they are. That's how insane they are. And so the way that you defeat that, the way that you defeat people like that, is you don't react to them. You take away the play from them. You make them react to you. I'll go to the grocery store. This is many years ago. They don't do this shit anymore. But I'll go to the grocery store, and like I said in one video, there was a guy that was constantly just trying to irritate me. He was following me around the store, and I didn't care. But I could tell, because he didn't have a grocery cart, man. He didn't have a grocery cart, he didn't have any groceries. I mean, I guess he was just there to hang out. But I was in a real good mood, and he wasn't gonna bring me down or fuck with my head and something like that. I'm busy, man. I mean, I'm busy shopping, and I don't know what was wrong with the guy. I don't know if it was an organized thing or if he was just singularly nuts. I don't know, and I don't care. But I was grabbing steaks and stuff like that, and he was just, I don't know, just talking to me out of the blue. I don't know who the fuck this person is. And my mom, my dad, they raised me not to talk to strangers. Well, now I'm in my 40s, and I teach my children that. Don't talk to strangers. So this guy's a stranger. I don't know who the fuck this person is. But he just wants to talk to me and stuff like that. And you know, at first, because I'm naturally a very compassionate guy, I thought maybe this guy is lonely. This guy is maybe a little bit mental, you know. But I'll entertain him. And so I talked to the guy a little bit. Then I started to realize this dude was just a troll. And I was still classy about it. And I had my headphones on, and he was talking to me with my headphones on. That's how it all began. There's a HEB in Odessa, Texas. And I was looking at him, and his mouth was moving. I couldn't hear what the hell he was saying. I was listening to AC/DC on my headphones. I think it was AC/DC. I'm pretty sure it was. Yeah. No, Pantera. It was Pantera. And I was all happy and stuff. And I took one of the earbuds out, the one out of my left ear, and I said, "Huh?" And he said, "I'm sorry, man. I didn't listen to a word you said, man. I'm listening to music on my headphones." So you see right there, right off the bat, he's just trying to take me out of my peace. To the point that he tapped me on my shoulder and just started. He's like, "Oh, I just saw you walking around." It's like, you saw me walking around like everyone else? It's a grocery store, man. We're going grocery shopping. But I was saying it with a smile, not angry, but like, why you pick me, man? There's lots of people to talk to you. Why are you coming here fucking with me? You know? And that's where he's tried to have a conversation with me, you know? And I'm like, basically, I just had to tell him eventually, "Look, man, I'm busy, man. God bless you, brother, but I got my wife and children here, and we're grocery shopping, and I'm busy, man, you know? But have a good day." He's like, "Oh, okay, you have a good day, too." And I still saw him around the grocery store trying to follow me around, but he had a big frown on his face. But he was kind of scared, too. Because when I would see him, he would turn around and immediately take off. And then a couple of hours later, I'd see him again, and he'd see me and mad, and I'd look at him and say, "Hey," and smile at him, and he'd turn around and walk off. The whole point was try to get me angry, try to get me out of my place of happiness, in which he failed. He was a fucking psychopath. Some Mexican American. You see, when you don't respond the way they want you to respond, they don't know what to do next. And what I did is I took it a step further. And this is evil. This is a battle of good versus evil. And that guy was evil, obviously. What you do against evil to kill it is you ignore it. Jesus Christ of Nazareth says, resist the devil and he shall flee from you. Resist the devil. How do you resist the devil? You ignore him. If you ignore the devil, he'll run away from you. I mean, have you ever talked to someone that's ignoring you? Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm talking to you. Hey, blah, 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 blah. Hey, yada, yada, I'm talking to you, man. And man, no matter what you say, the motherfucker won't listen to you, ignoring you completely. What do? You leave. You leave. Ain't no point trying to talk to someone that's ignoring you. And they're not ignoring you angrily, they're ignoring you with a smile on their face, like they're almost like laughing at you. So now not only you've been ignored and feel weird that you've been ignored, but it affects your self-esteem, makes you feel like an idiot. You get angry because you got ignored, you get offended. And then now you get humiliated because they're laughing at you. And you leave in shame. And that's exactly what happens to the devil and his children when you do the exact same thing to those fuckers. So do that. I'm a devious little bastard. You know what I mean? I really am. You know, I don't like to just defeat evil. I like to crush it. I like to humiliate it. Because I don't like evil. I hate evil. And I hate evildoers. I don't tolerate that shit. The majority of the human race, or at least the majority of Americans, I don't know about the rest of the human race, but the majority of Americans are good people. Majority of Americans are good, decent people. You know? Honest, decent folk. But you every now and then you run across that person is just got to be kicking sand, you know what I mean? Just got to be stirring that pot. And at first, in the beginning of this journey, I would stomp them out, punch them in their mouth. And then I realized there's a more effective way to do this. Come from the advantage of moral superiority. And use better tactics. Non-violent tactics. They pride themselves on being smart. Show them how dumb they are. Manipulate them so they cannot manipulate you. As long as you continuously smiling and laughing and giggling to someone that's trying to make you angry, boy, you make them really angry. I mean, you make them really, really angry. I love to do that. And they'll pretend to be nice and polite at first, but because they're not that kind of person, they can't keep that face, they can't keep that mask on very long. It starts to fall off. But because I'm naturally a nice, sweet person, there's no act. It's just who I am. That's how I am as a human being. I can sit there and just talk, small talk with some, bad person all damn day, and eventually they leave. Eventually they take off, because the goodness and the love radiating from me makes them sick. It makes them want to puke. And so they just split in disdain and utter defeat and humiliation. And that's what you want to do. You want to defeat, anger, and humiliate evil. You want to defeat, anger, and humiliate Satan and all his children. And that's what I do. I wish there was a job. I wish that, I could get paid money for that. I wish there was a job, in the classifieds. Do you have a mastery over Satan? Do you have the ability to make Satan and his children feel humiliated, feel small, feel stupid, and question themselves all the day long? Well, then you might be the kind of person we're looking for. Apply at so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. Or send us your resume. I wish they had a job for something like that, man. I'd be very, very successful at it. I'd have a great career. And so they don't. So I come out with videos like this to teach you how to defeat evil the right way, the way that it's prescribed by Christ in the Bible. That's why it says, pray for your enemies, forgive those that are your enemies, and pray for those that mistreat you, etc. That's why. That's a result of what happens. You wind up defeating them by humiliating them, making them look bad in front of everyone else, while making yourself look good and classy. And on top of all that, you brought a blessing upon yourself, and they brought a curse upon them. I mean, they lose in every way possible. You win in every way possible. But if you get mad and angry and arrogant and prideful and stuff, then you look just as bad as they do. And thus Satan won and you lost in that particular altercation, that particular scenario, that particular encounter. Yeah, what I did was, in my life, I took the play away from them. They were used to me showing up at the third of the month to go get groceries. They're used to me going to a certain grocery store. They're used to me going to a certain route. And so I quit doing all that. And now it's just random. And I carry dice, and also have a 50-cent piece that I flip. And depending on the dice, the roll of the dice, and depending on that coin flip, that's where we're going to go, and that's on what day we're going to go. They can't manipulate that. And now they have no damn idea what the hell we're going to do. And then the times that I do let them know what we're going to do, I'm setting traps. And they've fallen into those traps and they got hurt. And so now they're very angry at me, evil. But they're afraid to really do anything because they're getting counterpunched. Every time they think there's an opening, they go for it and they get punched right in the mouth. And at the times that I am predictable and I allow them to draw near and do things, none of it works anyway. But I have to do that so that they can get comfortable again. Because as long as they're cautious, then I can't set my traps. So I have to be predictable for a few months again, so that they'll won't feel the burn, the humiliation, the pain of the traps that I set for them. And they'll get confident again. They'll always get confident. Satan always gets confident again. And then they'll come back, and then I set my traps and burn them again. Now, it's been this way since 2016. They react to me. And when you're involved in warfare, and one side is reacting to the other, the side that's doing the reacting always loses. You'll never win a war if you're the one doing the reacting. And that's what I did. I took the play away from them. I made them react to me. I don't react to them. They react to me. They have to do things based on what I do. I don't have to do anything based on what they do. In the beginning, it was like that. What I did, what I said, what I thought, what I felt was based on My reaction to what they were doing, saying, thinking, feeling, whatever, has been gone for years, and it's gone forever, all the way to the end. To when Christ comes back on the clouds, all the way until then, and afterwards too. They react to me now. And I'm trying to teach you how to do the same thing. First of all, it comes with a change with your mind. A lot of you send me emails and comments and stuff where you're too violent, too belligerent, too angry. Get out of that, man. That shit ain't going to help you. You need to change your attitude. Change your attitude. Be more peaceful. Laugh about this stuff. Joke about it. Don't be so confrontational. You have to be clever. You have to. It says, and the Bible says, be wise as serpents. So be as wise as serpents. Think like the devil, and you can outsmart him at his own game. Because the devil thinks the way that he thinks, because it's really just a knockoff of how the Creator Yahweh thinks. Yahweh thinks in a way that's omnipotent. The devil doesn't understand how Yahweh thinks. He thinks he does, which is why the way he thinks he is the way he thinks right now. When he created the pyramid scheme and he created these secret societies and all this stuff like that, because that's based on Lucifer's observation of the Creator before he fell. That's based on his observations of this is how he thinks God thinks. Well, we don't think how God thinks. We know how God thinks because we're his children. Lucifer is not his child, but we are. You understand? The Edomites and Esau are not God's children. Their father's the devil. But our Father is not the devil. Our Father is the Creator, Yahweh. So we know how he thinks because we're supposed to think the same way. And how he thinks is very easy and apparent to see. Love your enemies. Pray for those who mistreat you. Be good to evil and good people alike. Be good to the sinners and non-sinners both. Because the rain shines and the rain pours and the sun shines on the good and the evil alike. The Lord is most merciful to both. Okay? He put these evildoers in the position of heaven right now, in the place of rulership. Because he's a good, merciful God. He's righteous. There's balance and there's equity in all his ways. He knows they're going to go to hell, so he gave them a good life here for now. Because their time is now, according to the words of Christ. Woe to ye that have, for your time is now. Okay? The Lord is patient, so you must be patient. The Lord is love, so you must be loving. The Lord is merciful, so you must be merciful. The Lord is slow to anger, but abounding in kindness, so you must be slow to anger and abounding in kindness. When you start thinking like the Lord, then you confuse and irritate Satan and his children, and ultimately destroy them.